when you have to function in a society and there's systematic things in place to oppress you, it makes it that much more difficult to get your piece of the pie.
That is true.
And at least here in a black African country, every day I wake up, I'm just a man. I'm not a black man.
Family, we're here in Rwanda, and people, we're hanging out with a Jamaican. I don't know if him run away, but we know him in Rwanda. We don't know how him get here, but we know him they here. And because him they here and me and Runway come here, and I don't have enough experience with the people. So what happened now? Because him in the system, long time people, I want him to give you guys his perspective, experience, know-how, so you guys can understand how to navigate the terrain when you come here. Because we went out a street and the affordability, not all of the vibe, but the culture, the structure, a Jamaica may look on. No. You've been here, you said 4 years now.
Yes.
What prompted you now to leave Jamaica, United States, and come here? Did donkey come bite you?
And my grandmother saying that, you know.
Yeah, what prompted you?
So there was a bit in between time. Yeah. We did a little bit when we left Jamaica, so but it never left us. That's what I like to say. My brothers and I, our parents brought us to foreign in New York when I was 4 at the time, and my older brothers are 2 years and 4 years older than me. So it was getting acclimated to even this cold place being New York and this other perspective. And but the good thing I'll say, we did go back every summer, and like for birthdays and special occasions kind of things. So we're always very close to our culture and our heritage in Jamaica, and of course the food. Like my mom make sure she cook nice yard food all the time, and grung food and all them things. So yeah, I went to art school in the States, and I met someone very influential to my life, an older neighbor, and she kind of took me under her wing, and she brought me across the world. First place I went was a place that was little known in America at the time called Dubai. Now everybody talks about Dubai, but back then, 2006, 2007, not a lot of people were talking about it. Most we heard about the Middle East was, from like Desert Storm 1 or whatever, the first Gulf War. So we were just thinking terrorism and what have you. And I went home, looked it up, and first thing I saw was this beautiful, pristine white sailboat building. I said, who would make that? Why? Any culture, any society that is doing these kinds of visionary, forward-thinking things, I want to at least go check it out. I'm not going to be closed-minded just because of what media told me. And I think that's what set me on my trajectory to really discover more. Because I always had a feeling, brethren, that in America, although, like I said, I'm thankful for all the opportunities I've had for growing up there, but I've always felt a piece of me missing. And it wasn't just the Jamaican side of it. It was even bigger than that. I always knew there was something, that I was made for something much more than whatever was going on with these growing pains, let's say. And if you later on, as I got further away from so close to the issue, I was able to put 2 and 2 together. I had a green card until I was like 15, 16 years old, with my baby picture, 4-year-old baby picture on there, and it says resident alien.
Resident alien resident.
So the people that am foreign call me alien. So that gets ingrained into a young person's mindset that I don't belong here. I'm an alien.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm foreign to this place, and they'll never let you forget it. Even my precious blue passport says born in Jamaica, and I would have it no other way. But I'm just trying to show everybody, especially those that haven't traveled much, that as much as you want to get away from your surroundings or where you are, or whatever, you are who you were when you got here.
That is true.
So just be proud of that, and take that pride of nation with you wherever you go in the world, and just stand up strong.
all of us who are moved to America or Canada, we face some level of institutional racism and some prejudice and all of that. And whether you like it or not, one of the reasons why I made a video to say, okay, one of the reasons why I say I'm looking forward to Africa is that no matter how successful you are, no matter how educated you are, you're still conscious of this. And I never knew, Marlon, I never knew I was a black man until I went to America. Jamaican people, I never knew I was a black man until I went to America. Because, you see, we're post-colonialism in Jamaica.
Right.
We're 70s, 80s generation. We never grew up with our peer, what our parents been through. So it's when I went to America, when a man looked and said, boy, you know, you're black, you're this and that. And it's like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. And one of the things that when I went to Canada, the first thing I started studying, who am I, as a black man? And why is it I'm different? Why in a Jamaica them call me dog, drunk, or red lip, big head, big nose? Why is it? I always wanted to know why.
Coolly.
And let me tell you, Marlon, when I started to study human anthropology, genetics, biology, history, and science, and I realized that all race came out of our genes, why I was free. I was liberated. Now, we face that there now. No, I don't know if that was a catalyst that pushed you here. But you being here now, what was the thing that was the trigger that pushed you away from the West to say, all right, you could go on to Asia, you could go back to the Caribbean,
right,
but you chose Africa, you in Rwanda. What was that catalyst?
Right.
Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll?
So let me pick up a little bit on the Dubai adventure, because that adventure changed my life completely. Started wearing a lot more hats. It allowed me to have more belief in myself, that there's no safety net.
You become more conscious.
More conscious, yes, about like who I am and Pan-Africanism a bit, you know, and like these kinds of things, but also to kind of like grow up fast a little bit in terms of, you know, in America, especially these days, people have a very much like, oh, I'll be okay because my parents are here, or this person here, or the government will take care of this, or this will take care of that. When you're traveling and you have no intentions on going backwards, there is no safety. There's only do it.
Amen.
So for the past 15 plus years, I've just been thinking, do it. I'm not thinking about health insurance and all the stuff that people just are like, oh, I get paid at the end of the month. I get paid on this date. I get this. I get that. When you're an entrepreneur, you don't get nothing but what you work for.
Yes.
So yeah, it just really instilled that within me that we have to think forward, not backwards, and really keep that confidence and that drive and energy going.
And out of the box.
Out of the box thinking. Now, Dubai, I was there for 12 years. 12 years in Dubai, yeah. And learned a lot of things, got involved in a lot of different sectors, was able to do public speaking and presenting and events, and got into the golf industry, which, you know, you and I have a commonality for that, the beautiful game of golf. Started you know, doing big stage events, conferences, and these kind of things. Just really opened my eyes to, you know, you can really get involved in anything if you have the gift of gab.
That is true.
If you're able to convince yourself, number one, whatever you're going to say to somebody else, you got to believe it somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you deliver it and say, hey, this is what I'm selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nowadays we don't say the sales word. We just say business development or growing your business or what have you. You know, like we don't do sales. Relationship management. I love that word. I had that on all my business cards, relationship manager. People like, oh, what is this? Oh, well, I manage relationships. It just sounds so smooth, you know? So yeah, Dubai, 12 years, did all those things, you know, had a interesting time. Everything wasn't all roses. I definitely don't want the audience thinking that. There were a lot of hardships. I mean, and you know, complete disclosure, you know, you guys are family, so you know, I've slept on floors in Dubai.
There's nothing wrong with that. We slept on floor in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
But you know, when people hear this name, they just think 5-star, luxury, everything shiny, silver thing, yeah. So I'm just saying that there's different experiences that you can have in even the best places. Just like how we hear about American marketing. Their ice is colder than ours. Their ice not cold. Sometimes they don't even have ice.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
There's more homeless people in America than I've seen in any country in Africa.
Well, the strangest thing you know,
And I've been to quite a few.
the strangest thing you know, so many Africans would do whatever to go there, not knowing that they have a better life here than over there.
They don't know.
So the power of American marketing,
Yes.
cultural imperialism is a very powerful thing.
Absolutely.
Good.
It seems to hurt them, Madam Speaker. It hurt them. And it hurt Master Mark too. It bun him.
For Jamaican people, you know, so some round about me out, and I saw the thing set. But as I said, I've lived the first 50-something years of my life in the West, 20 years in Jamaica. And when we do the math and look at the numbers, I love yard to the bones. But man have to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Wow. No, we've lived in safe societies. I mean, I'm beat down Jamaica, but we see over the years, it's not Jamaican people, you know, are the leaders them. Always the leaders. Now, when I really, I'm at my golden years now to kind of relax and put my foot up and, you know, drink a nice little pina colada or African tea. And I've said now that me decided to come forward. That's why I'm in these blacks so they can see that there's life beyond the foolishness we are going on now. What would you say to Jamaican people now who live in America, in Canada, and England now, who reach at a point? Because when I take my Google Analytics, you know, most of my people were there, you know, subscribe, they're between age 45 to 65. So me know says that age bracket around our age bracket who fed up, but they know and go back a yard.
Yeah.
You've been here a long time now. What would you say to them now who are on the sideline thinking of where they should go? What would you say to them?
It's one of my favorite questions when I do vlogs and podcasts. You have options. You have options. There's more than just your street, your block, your dungle, or whatever people are saying nowadays. You know, your neighborhood. There's more. Much more. The world is not enough even. Yeah, we see now people beaming stuff out of space. You know, sadly. People, there's more. Do yourself a favor, get your passport straight, and just go visit a place. We're not saying pack everything now in a bag and, you know, come move Africa.
Visit first.
Come see. Come check it out. Come see your family.
Yes.
Come see your family here at Big Yard.
You know the strangest thing, Marlon? I met a Canadian, black Canadian, a few days ago. And he said he watched my blogs and it encouraged him to come here for a visit. Marlon, he said even his mother prayed for him. Even his mother prayed for him because the mother was so worried. Why are you going to Africa? Can you believe this, man? The man said, it's not lie we're telling. The man said, so good down here. The man is having fun. The man said, never felt so good in his life.
Amazing.
But the mindset is that from once you go into Africa, you're going to hell. Can you imagine that, man? I've said that you can never say to any Europeans or white people, don't go to Europe. Asians don't go to Asia.
Right?
I mean, Latinos don't go to South America or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you say to a black person, visit Africa, you see me, I can tell them to jump off a cliff.
Where?
What?
What am I doing in Africa?
Can you imagine that mindset? So you here now, are you at peace?
Peace of mind is expensive. But you know what? I've cashed in everything for just that thing. And, you know, I say it jokingly, but yeah, peace of mind is something you can't put a price on. And I would say that in general, although my entrepreneurial mind keeps running and keeps pushing me to do more, I am generally at peace with who I am and how society around me views my existence. So not like saying that we are live for somebody or beg no friend, like we say. But when you have to function in a society and there's systematic things in place to oppress you, it makes it that much more difficult to get your piece of the pie.
That is true.
And at least here in a black African country, every day I wake up, I'm just a man. I'm not a black man. I don't worry about making it home because an authority might pull me over and think I'm being a smart, you know what,
Yes.
and want to commit harm or violence to me or throw me in jail or whatever. just because of how he's feeling that day.
How do Rwandans treat you? I mean, yes, you're black. Yes, you're African, Jamaican, but you're here. You're not, whether you like it or not, you're not born Rwandan.
Sure.
But how do Rwandans treat you?
First, like a Rwandan. Because if I didn't say anything, if I didn't open my mouth and they hear this accent,
Yeah.
they just think I'm Rwandan. Actually, I've gotten that many times. People say, hey, you're Rwandan, right? I've also gotten, you're Kenyan, right?
Yeah.
I've gotten Nigeria, I've gotten Ghana, I've gotten, when I was in South Africa, I got South Africa. So we see that the African continent has had migrations for a long time.
It's always been there.
So when your family sees you again after hundreds of years, it doesn't matter. You still belong here. And they can see it in your features.
Good. Now
when you start talking,
then
then they say, where are you from?
Good. In the West, if you see a nice lady moving by,
Yeah.
you don't want to shake her tree, You just want to give her a compliment, say, boy, sister, you look nice. In the West, you get that attitude, or some of them puff up, or you're invisible. For the fellas out there who don't understand this side of the world, how does the Rwandan ladies treat you here?
I need to preface that a little bit because you forgot out one part that nowadays the Me Too generation.
Me too.
So you'll actually, you might get puff up, you might get, a gal try to trace you, or I don't got no time for you, or what can you do for me? Kind of independent women. Or you'll get, this is sexual harassment, and I'm going to tell the police on you.
Oh, wow.
Nowadays, yeah.
Really?
All in America. No, not here.
Not here.
I'm saying that's the West.
We don't want
That's
to
the
do
West.
no,
Yeah.
forget that. We know all of that kind of madness is in the West. We're talking about here.
Yeah. The only reason why I brought that up is because it shows you the huge difference between supposedly a free country where you actually can't say what you want.
True.
But they fool you into thinking you can say whatever you want, do whatever you want. Until they cancel you.
Cancel culture. Even on YouTube, you gotta watch what you say.
Yo.
Keep going.
So here in Rwanda, if you want to talk to a nice young lady, actually it's so open. I'd say the one thing that gets in the way sometimes is language.
Yeah.
Right?
Communication.
Yes, communication, because the main language here, and even though it's a beautiful thing, it's called Kinyarwanda. Kinyarwanda. Some people don't understand English too well at all. A lot of young people, like I'd say between the ages of 20, 21 to like early 30s, they're the new generation. So they speak minimum 3 to 4 languages.
Wow.
Minimum. They don't even think it's a special thing. It's like, oh, I speak so many languages. I speak 4.
It's normal, yeah.
It's like, okay. In America, we speak
One.
if even we can talk English good.
But all in all, that you would say they treat you with respect, the women.
Yeah, man. Even a lot of them, you'll find it's like so much easier even just to get a date and like to big them up. If you give a woman a compliment and she understands what you're saying, she'll smile very nicely with you. And then I guess the next step for us guys would be, oh, can I have your number? Da da da. First time I said that, and the girl just said, sure. I said,
What?
I never said no.
Different cultures.
Did you understand what I said? She's like, yeah, you want my number?
Different cultures.
And then I took her out. Probably like within 2 days, I took her out, and we had a good dinner, et cetera, et cetera.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what about cost of living?
Yeah, cost of living. A place like mine. Now we're talking about full-time cost of living. 2-bedroom in my area, which is very central to everything. You're going to pay between, let's say, $300 to maybe maximum $600-700.
People hear that?
Yeah.
People, $300, $600-700. Well, you can't get that another way. You can't even buy grocery for 1 month.
Yeah.
And the amenities like water, internet, I mean, light, those things work here.
Yeah, they work here. Add up all of those combined, maybe you're talking, again, depends on your consumption. Yeah, so maybe we're, because I do some business out of my house, so I'm using more electricity than like most, let's say.
Okay. What about the entertainment side down here?
Yeah, so Rwanda is a quieter African country. They kind of call Rwanda Africa Light in terms of people that are coming here to do business or to relocate. Africa Light meaning that it's easier to navigate in Rwanda than it would be
Any other African country?
in a larger population country or even a country that hasn't been through what we've been through. Because, you know, like you find trauma kind of mellows some people. Yeah, it does affect people differently. Like you know, makes some populations angry, but it's made Rwandans very mellow.
Wow.
And
it's all about the leadership.
all about the leadership because it comes down to that. Where are we going? What direction are we going
Absolutely.
in? Where's the vision?
There you go. There you go. Now, for Jamaican people, now, and if you watch my blog every now and then, I burn out the politician them. Because at the end of the day, they're the one who's setting the standard. A lot of people don't know that. That's why we elect them, you know. We give up our civil liberties just for them to govern us.
It's a trade-off.
Now, what would you say to many Jamaican people on the sideline now who are thinking about would Rwanda be a good spot for them? This is not just Jamaican people. We're talking about all people, melanated people in the West.
Yes.
Would you say Rwanda is a good spot for them?
Absolutely. I feel that there's strength in numbers. Right now, we have a small population of what we call black spats, returnees. However you want to think about yourself. We're just like, you know, let us say you're from foreign because we belong in Africa. Number one, get that mindset right before you come.
Yeah.
The Honorable Marcus Garvey said, a lot of black people are no good in the West and they'll be no good in Africa.
That is true.
Stay where you are.
That is true.
If your mind ain't ready. But if your mind's ready, then yes, Rwanda is the place for you. Get a little bit of investment. I'm not saying you got to bring tons and tons of cash, but Western money in any developing country does go far. And you can invest in land. You can invest in property for real estate. You can invest in property for business. Yeah, so commercial buildings, manufacturing. Manufacturing in Africa is so needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever we're doing in our countries now in the West, bring that knowledge, that skill set here. And I guarantee you can develop something in a much shorter period of time here on the continent, especially in Rwanda, because it's a very conducive environment to entrepreneurship. All right, people, so I want to show you some of our units.
One of my things that I always try to encourage expats in the West to do is that if you're coming to Africa, it's always wise to have a passive income. Because, you know, your profit will not be as great as in the West. So passive income is always important. Now, what about, say, for status? I mean, like, say, you know, in the West you have a landed or you have a permanent resident card. Someone coming here now, what do they normally get first? We know that when you get to the airport, you get, I think it's a 30 days.
Yeah, your 30-day visa, or the people that are wise, they get a 90-day visa because what they got is
Business visa.
not even that one. There's one called a East African visa.
Oh, wow.
So it helps you to go to Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda. Yeah, so you can travel between that triangle within East Africa. But yeah, when you first come, you get standard A visa. Then if you want to stay longer, you can travel between countries, like I said, and get a longer visa for tourists. When you see that you actually want to put down roots here and settle, then you have to invest in the country a bit.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I just really like how things are run here, because when you invest in the country, that means just in anything. Yeah, like I have a business here for property management. So immigration can see you have a physical building that you manage, and you've put
you have employees.
Revenue into this. You have local employees, so you're capacity building.
Absolutely.
Especially with young people. And yeah, we're making a difference within the country. We are helping the
economy and the society.
Yes, and also the goal of the government, which a lot of it has to do with tourism.
Absolutely, and to bring the income of Rwandans.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people. So yeah, this is what I want to, portray to you guys from this point of view, that it's not just me who want to come here, and I believe a lot of us who in the diaspora should definitely, without a doubt, take a visit. And I mean, I always say Rwanda first. Why? Because Rwanda has all the amenities that almost mirrors the ones we have in the West. Yeah. So when you come here, you feel a sense of home. You don't feel like you're lacking, but also you're safe. This morning I was running around the golf course and I met this lady from Rwanda. It was just nice to just walk and jog and just chat with her. Yeah. And you know, it's so comforting because I think many of us who are decent in the West, we play by the rules. We do what is right. But still, because of this hue and what the media has portrayed in the minds of the masses, you're guarded. And I'm tired of the apprehension. And for you folks, I believe without a doubt that you guys should definitely, without a doubt, come and visit Rwanda. And when you come and visit Rwanda, you don't know if you have a whole lot of money. You can stay at
650 KGL Place.
650 KGL Place. And if you guys want, you can drop your comments, you can drop your likes or your, nobody put no dislikes because we do dislikes, we don't want that. But you can drop your comments because what happened is that we want to give you as much information as you can so you can make the transition if you care to do so. Yeah. I will always stress that it is always wise to have income because many people come to Africa and many people go back. And one thing I've realized is lack of planning. Yeah. Lack of proper planning. If you plan properly and put the things in place, Africa is a beautiful place to visit.
This is your home. We miss you. We love you. We want to see you return. Africa for Africans.
You see a lot of other different ethnicities from Asia, from Europe, and from China, and from India. They are not fearful of Africa. They live in Africa. So if they're enjoying the goodness of Africa, why not us? I've always said, Marlon, you see, propaganda and brainwash is a very powerful thing.
Very.
But I also know that if you don't step out of your comfort zone, you will never accomplish great success.
It's true. And I just want to add one more thing before we wrap, that you're so right with that, because a lot of people in my life, they ask me, how do you decide to go to Dubai? How do you decide to go here? How do you decide to do this thing, go to Africa? I tried. It's not rocket science. I'm no I'm no genius. But just try a thing. Especially people from yard, you know what we're talking about. Try a thing. Yeah?
You never know.
Be brave. Be brave.
And Jamaican brave and bold.
Exactly. So you're not telling me nothing? Yo, who's bigger than Jamaica? So come true.
People everything though now.
Yeah.
And it's affordable. On that note, people, Jamaican is out and a relocation me at top. Both people, we out. See you in the next video. Alright? And don't forget to link up
650 KGL Place.
Alright. So the thing said. We'll talk. Peace.
Love.
Every time.